Jason Love with Jason Love's Life. This is probably a stupid way to videotape one of these, but I like to try new things and kind of see what I like. I like editing, but the problem with editing is it takes more time, and 1 or 2 views right now, it's not great. It's not worth putting an hour into editing. And to me, the purpose of one of these is to just say my thoughts, kind of more as a journal. Worst case scenario, I have them for myself, kind of, once in a while I can go back and check them out. I want to do a little more educational stuff on the stuff that I'm learning. So, for example, today, this morning at 6 a.m. I launched my Kickstarter campaign. $500 funding was my goal. The reason why I chose 500 is I really would like more, but I could take the time and finish it with 500. I could actually finish it with 0, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. If I have $500 worth of funding, I can at least be like, okay. So what I did before was I did a funding for $2,000 trying to do it, and I think I learned a lot, and I actually ended up with about $400, but I didn't actually get, because Kickstarter you have to get it all or nothing. I didn't get that, so it actually worked out because I could kind of tell, what my friends are willing to give. So this time I did a lot of stuff different. I should probably have outlined this. So one thing I did different was I tried super hyping right before. Now, I was worried about that because people, I get sick of seeing the same ads, because you're like, all right, I've seen this ad for 10 times, but I hyped them in a different way. I actually was trying to I set goals for my social media numbers. And I said, hey, I'm trying to get this number, and then I feel like doing that, it kind of connects people with it. People actually like to see your success. So I actually had 3 numbers: YouTube numbers, Facebook numbers, and Twitter numbers. And telling people, hey, I just blew away the Twitter number. I think goal was 500, and I hit 750, and still had 3 days to go. I don't know, it just shows success. People like to hear, 90% of Facebook is going to be, which is, I think, my primary. I post there. I feel like I get the most connection there, but they're with people I actually know. The nice thing about Twitter is people I don't know, but people aren't going to respond as much because they don't know me, and they're kind of like, okay, whatever. But Facebook more, it's like, had a great day, or have a bad day, car broke down, and it's kind of like a snippet of people's life. But to be honest with you, most people's life, they're not really doing anything. They're just, I went to the beach, here's some pictures of me at the beach, here's some pictures of my kid, And, kid stuff's kind of exciting, but not when you don't have a kid. Now I have a kid coming, so it's more exciting to be like, oh, cool. Or even just because I know that person, I'm like, wow, that person's offspring is now talking. Like, how weird is that? So it's just an old person thing. Not old, but, getting close to 30 thing. Another thing, just off topic, is that I need to get a new chair. I've noticed with some of my I'm talking louder all of a sudden. I noticed with a lot of my other videos, I can hear the squeaking. So this chair I'm using is, I'm not going to show it to you because I'm wearing my pajamas, and I don't want you to see that I'm in my pajamas at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's one of those chairs where you kneel, and it's been pretty beat up because it's just like a bar hooked up, and then we're moving around a lot, and it probably needs to be tightened too, but it's not like an ideal chair. So I might use, we have an engineering table that came with the chair. I might just use that chair because it has wheels, and I like wheels, I guess. An office chair. Anyways, rambling, back to the point. Okay, things I learned. You want to build up hype beforehand. And the second thing that's worked really well, I try getting people to preview it, and I think that's good. So I would say keep that in there. So build hype, try to get people to preview it just to make sure everything's correct. I didn't have a good turnout for that, but I think if you can get people just to look it over, because I found several mistakes right before launch, like several. And I don't think they would have hurt but the spelling mistakes. I'm a terrible speller. And I think having a comic book with somebody who terrible spelling. I had terrible spelling in, like I did like a motion comic to sort of, promote it. Yeah, that hurt it a little bit. Okay, so back to the numbers we have. Build hype. Get somebody to look it over. And the third thing is set a deadline that's not your deadline. I actually set mine for 24 hours. So I had 2 goals going into this. Bottom goal, disappointing goal, 100. I would have been disappointed if I didn't get $100. That goes into my next part. Sorry, I started moving forward in the head. Anyways, set goals for your backers. So in 24 hours, I wanted to get a very minimum $100. I've been disappointed with less. My goal is in 24 hours to get 100% of, and I'll talk to you about why later. But the reason why I did that, why I set a goal that's within 24 hours of launching, is that people are kind of on the fence a lot. Like I noticed last time. This time, more of my friends did it. I actually think doing another one before helped because people sort of seen that it was serious. I trying to do it again. So I think that helped. But I think that's why if you build up like, hey, I'm working on this project, and you actually like let people know you're working on it for like 5-6 months, they're like, oh, that's what he's working on. So I guess that's another one that's separate. But no, it's part of building up hype. You can build up hype like 6 months in advance, but it's sort of like a slow, not like super extreme hype, and then when it gets close, you set some other goals. I'm not inebriated in this whole thing. So third one is 24-hour goal. If it's a huge number, even 50%, and just tell them, say, hey, the reason why I do it is because it sets them to say, okay, I have to buy now, instead of putting it off. And the excuse I give them is, if you do it in the next 24 hours, I should have gave them an actual like incentive, which would have been smart. I didn't do that. Next launch, I'm going to do that for sure. But this one, I just told them, and this is the reason why I wanted it. A is that, and then B, if you can get 100% of your funding, you get on a list called popular. Actually, that's another thing. Is even just people to you. I'm just telling people at the beginning. I threw out a couple where I say, hey, even if you're not going to fund it, just like it because it'll put me in the popular category. And I'm actually in the popular category. I'm not, at the top yet. You want to ideally be. There's only a few boxes. You want to be at that top box. But once they click, and if they kind of scroll through the popular ones, I'm going to come up, which is helpful. I don't think most people. It's good to have people see it right away. You're going to obviously get more attention, but I think most people who are like, I want a comic book, I want to look at what's popular. They're going to scroll because they have their own likes and tastes and whatnot. So I'm on that list. I don't think I was on the list last time. And you tell them that, and that makes them say, okay, not only am I help funding his goal, I'm also getting him into these lists that'll help more. Okay. Fourth point, and my last point, since this has been kind of long, is set your goal number low. And so, the reason why I only set $500, even though, if I want to market it, even publishing it, I'm a little sketchy. I'm gonna have to sort of figure out how to do it on the cheap. But if I get my original sum, which was $2,000, I'll be good. But I set the goal low because A, you don't get the money back if you don't get it. Like I raised $400 last time, didn't reach a goal, didn't get it. So I set it the low as possible, and in return, I'm also going to get on that recently funded once I hit that. So it was a good choice to set it low. Also, a new thing I did, which isn't part of this, is I actually put a tag on it to say I'll put 5% of my profit towards another Kickstarter thing. And probably going to do some of that in advance. The reason why I did that is because I actually want to actually put money towards other Kickstarter campaigns. There's actually a cool comic book strip or comic book who's been sharing he's been retweeting my stuff, and I'm retweeting his stuff. I'm not sure if he's doing as much now because I think he's getting close. He's kind of far away from his funding goal, but I want to put money towards him because it's a really cool comic book series. So I mean, I did it because it's a good excuse to buy other people's stuff, and I'm gonna probably do it anyways. So putting it on there, people are like, oh, he is into the community, which I'm really into the idea of community. I don't really like buying comic books from the store, but the idea of buying comic books from the actual comic book creators, and then like getting my name and stuff, getting the original artwork, getting the perks of it, way cool. So I think this is long enough for my Jason Loves Life, and like I said, I planned on it being a little longer. So I'm trying to debate if I want to edit stuff in or not. But anyways, I won't talk about it. Alright.